Hello, fellow humans, and welcome to the Magic of Music. I'm your host, Mr. Gagnon, and today we're learning about an instrument that loves reeds so much it uses two of them at a time. We're talking about the oboe. You know, the oboe is a fascinating and very expressive instrument that can play in a wide variety of styles. But don't just take my word for it. Let's check in with our special guest for the episode, my friend and an LSUU alum, Kay Meyer.
Hi, my name is Kay Meyer, and I play the oboe. I've been playing oboe for about 10 years, and I'm now studying oboe performance in college. I'm here today to tell you a little bit more about my instrument. Oboes were invented sometime in the middle of the 17th century in France. Its name, oboe, comes from the French word au bois, which means high-pitched wood, because the instrument is made out of wood and is played using a wooden reed. Oboes haven't always looked like the one I have today. When they were first made, they had many fewer keys and couldn't even play all of the notes. They started to make oboes looking more like this one in the 18th century. Oboes are made up of 4 parts. First, you have the bell. Next, the bottom joint. And then, the top joint. Finally, you have the reed. On its own, an oboe reed makes a pretty funny noise. Kinda sounds like a duck, but when you put it all together, it sounds like this. Much prettier. Instruments are organized into 4 families. You have strings, brass, woodwind, and percussion. Do you know what family the oboe is a part of? The oboe is a part of the woodwind family, along with flutes, clarinets, saxophones, and bassoons. Woodwind instruments typically use a reed or are made out of wood. Now, I want to tell you a bit about where you can find the oboe. One of the most common ensembles that an oboe plays in is an orchestra. Have you ever seen an orchestra play? If you've ever been to an orchestra concert, you may remember that the concert begins with the orchestra tuning. The orchestra typically tunes to the oboe, which means that at the beginning of the concertmaster or the first violin player will stand and ask the oboe player to give the orchestra an A, which means the oboe will play an A and everyone else in the orchestra will match the pitch of their A to the oboe's A. One of my favorite orchestral composers is Tchaikovsky. Here's a clip of me playing an oboe solo from one of his songs, Swan Lake. doesn't always just play classical music in orchestra. For example, Duke Ellington, a very famous jazz composer, wrote a suite for orchestra which features the oboe. Here's a clip of me playing the oboe solo from that piece. Another place that you can find an oboe playing is in a chamber ensemble. This includes duets, trios, quartets, quintets, and more. One of my favorite chamber pieces for oboe is Mozart's Oboe Quartet. It includes an oboe player, 2 violin players, a viola, and a cello. Here's a clip of me playing some of that piece. Finally, I want to tell you a bit about some solo oboe playing. Oboes don't always play with an ensemble. Sometimes we play by ourselves or just us and a piano player. During quarantine, musicians have had to get a bit creative with solo playing because it's kind of hard to meet up with a large ensemble or sometimes even with one other player to play music. One of my favorite pieces that I've discovered for just solo oboe is Britten's Metamorphoses after Ovid. Here's a clip of me playing some of that. Thank you so much for tuning in to listen to me talk about my instrument. I hope you enjoyed it.
Thanks, Kay. Well, it looks like that's about all the time we have for today. If you'd like to hear more amazing oboe music, check out our Magic of Music oboe playlist, linked in the description below. We want to give a huge shout out to all of the teachers and parents out there who help our students see these episodes. And of course, a huge thanks to you students for tuning in. If you have any questions for us about the show, email us at magic.music@lsuu.org. We can't promise that we'll get to every question and comment on our next episode, but we'll do our best to get to as many as we can. From all of us here at the show, thanks for tuning in. Stay safe out there and have a great day.
Music is powerful, man.